Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yes, and today we're talking more and more about Schumann. This is the fourth of our Schumann videos, and there's at least one more coming, I think. I think we may get through Schumann with 5 videos, which is really, I think, more than sufficient, don't you? We'll see. But this is, we have a good clump here, and it's going to focus a lot, I can see, on concertos, Schumann's concertos, of which the piano concerto is very well known, the violin and cello concertos less so, and they're definitely less interesting pieces. Who are we kidding? But let's see what's in here, because it's not just concertos. We have the 4 symphonies, Manfred Overture, Genoveva, with Zubin-Mehta and the Vienna Philharmonic. I mean, how many really good Schumann cycles are there? Of course, the reference recording, which we talked about, was Wolfgang Sawallisch with the Staatskapelle Dresden. But it seems like everybody and their mother did one with the Vienna Philharmonic and did them well. So this is perfectly fine. It's with Mehta in Vienna. And then we've got, is there an overture? Yeah, Manfred and Genoveva. How many times we have to hear those? Then we've got, let's see, Schumann. This is the De La Rocha stuff, which we've already talked about. Partly in the first video, she was popped up doing Carnival Chrysleriana, Novelette number 8. That was, I think, the first disc of that, the first of those discs. And then the Fasching Schwank aus Wien, Allegro in B minor. No, that was on the first disc. The Romance number 2 in F sharp, and the Fantasy in C, Opus 17. One of the most extraordinary works of romantic pianicitude. Incredible. And we've got some more symphonies here. Oh, the Klemperer Schumann cycle with the Faust Overture. It was going very well until we got to the Rhenish Symphony, which is the one where he fell asleep in the middle of it and then woke up and said, how did it go? It was 1970. It was 2 years before he died, and he was really infirm. Along with the Faust Overture, this other stuff, the Second Symphony was 69, which was already pushing it. But 1 and 4 was from 61, and it's terrific, and 1 was from 66, so not so bad. And of course, those forward woodwind balances really help, even if you are snoozing through the performance. But that Rhenish is something else. Okay, Schumann Symphony number 1, Boston Symphony, Charles Munch. Well, that's sort of a classic. And the 4th with the Boston and Leinsdorf, which you really should hear because it's really very, very good. So many good performances. It's depressing to try and choose. Byron Janis, great Schumann piano concerto with Skrovichevsky in Minneapolis. It's a first-class thing, along with the Arabesca and the Tchaikovsky first piano concerto with the London Symphony and Herbert Menzies, however you pronounce that, doesn't matter. The late, great Byron Janis. Now there's a Mercury Masters Byron Janis box that's out. It has all this stuff in it. Then we've got the classic Grieg-Schumann coupling, this time with the Concertgebouw, Arau, and Dochnani. They are typically Arauian. That is measured, beautiful, sculptured, chiseled, noble. Some people like more excitement, but this is awfully, it's individual. It is what it is. Let's see, Schumann and Grieg piano concertos with Murray Pariah and Colin Davis. His second go-round with these, if I'm not mistaken, with Bavarian Radio, and they are perfectly fine. Those are worth keeping. Then we've got the violin and cello concertos of the Manfred Overture with Frank Peter Zimmermann, Truls Mork, the Cologne Radio, and Hans Fonck. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. I hung on to this because it's excellent. It's on EMI. God knows if you'll ever find it. I don't know where it is now. Schumann, Lalo, Saint-Saëns, cello concertos with the London Symphony and Janos Starker, with Skrovichevsky conducting the Schumann and Lalo, and Antal Dorati conducting the Saint-Saëns. What's not to love? On Mercury Living Presence. Then we have Argerich doing Schumann Piano Quintet. Yes, the Piano Quintet and the Andante Variations in Fantasie, Stücke, and Märchenbilder. I'm trying to see what she actually plays here, because you just never know with these Argerich things. I mean, all these other people, it's Argerich and friends, All right, so she's A, and it looks like she does everything here. The Fantasie Stücke Opus 73 for piano and cello, and the Märchenbilder for piano and violin, and yeah. All right, so at least she's involved in all of it. which is nice. You may have noticed I'm sort of tired of Argerich. I really am. She's calmed down. I mean, she's doing a lot less than she used to, but it seems to be mostly the same stuff and mostly not as good as she originally did it. So I'm starting to feel cynical, and it's a shame because she's an incredibly great artist who I admire boundlessly. I really do, but it seems like, she lives in her own bubble and people follow her around with microphones and whatever happens is what we get. And that seems to be the end of it. She doesn't particularly care because other people can make money off of it. What the hell, It's okay. I mean, if that's the way it looks, it devalues what she's done, frankly, as an artist. And I just have to make that point, which I always do when her name comes up. Schumann 3 and 4, Günter Wand, NDR Symphony Orchestra, great performances. Wand was never a Schumann guy. He really wasn't. He didn't do a complete cycle for RCA at all, like he did with Brahms and Bruckner multiple times, and Beethoven. He did a complete one. Not Schumann. He just did 3 and 4, and they are wonderful. Typical Günter Wand. That sort of clear, sensible, musical, beautifully balanced, totally in control and interpreted effortlessly. Really first rate. All right, Schumann 2 and 4, Philadelphia Orchestra and Levine. Well, I already talked about the complete cycle in the last video, which I have in Japanese RCA, and this was the domestic RCA of 2 and 4, which I got because I wanted the others, and they didn't issue the others, and like, sons of bitches. So I have that. Then we've got, let's see, who's this? Oh, Michelangelo. More of his Schumann, a couple bits of album for the Jugend Carnival, and Brahms variations on a theme by Paganini, and Busoni's Chaconne, arranged from the Bach Partita No. 2 in D minor, a classic Michelangelo disc on EMI, now Warner. And this is, what the heck is this? Schumann Symphony No. 3, Rhenish Manfred Overture with the Philharmonia and Giulini. Took me a minute to figure out what it is because it's all in Japanese, as you can see. It's all Japanese on the back. English on the front, but sort of hard to read English. It's like faded and, but this is very good. Giulini did a very good Rhenish symphony. His DG one, remember, was excellent. Slightly reorchestrated and all to the good. Some extra horn parts there. Richter on Yedang Classics. This one I haven't even opened yet because I have all that other Richter Schumann, and I'm not really a crazy Richter person. I collect Richter because it's Richter, because other people talk about it, and every so often I have to rush down and listen to what they're talking about. I've heard a lot of Richter doing Schumann, but not everything. And I saw this, and at some point I'll figure out, where it comes from and what it is. It's the Fantasiestucke Opus 12, the Symphonic Etudes and Posthumous Etudes, and the Fasching-Schwank aus Wien. So, you can't have too much Richter doing Schumann. Can you? Well, maybe you can. Last but not least, Horwitz. This is a spare because this is Sony Horwitz stuff, and I have the big box, but I don't have the individuals, and some of them I wanted just in case I had to find something easily or I can't find the box. So here it is. I haven't had to open it yet. Chrysleriana and variations on a theme by Clara Wieck, and Arabesca and Toccata, the Blumenstück and the Traumerei, and that's it. That's it. I'm done. I've got tons and tons and tons of Schumann, as you can see. Endless quantities of Schumann, and there is more to come, but not that much more. Actually, Schumann wrote so much music that doesn't get performed, and I have some of that upstairs, like the complete piano music boxes and things like that. Those aren't down here. I keep those handy elsewhere. But yeah, it's nifty. It's nifty to have. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.